Hello smart people! Have you ever seen the news about flash floods, climate change due to greenhouse gases, or ecosystem pollution in rivers and in oceans, such as stuffing a turtle's nose with a straw causing bleeding? All these incidents are a result of the existence of plastics and the use of plastics on Earth. Why did this happen? Isn't plastic really helpful for human survival on Earth? These are the questions that will arise in the mind of all of you. Okay, before I start my speech, allow me to introduce myself. Because according to the proverb, if you don't know, then you don't love. My name is Ketut Asta Denny Sadewi. I come from the English Language Education Department of the University of Hindu Negeri Igusti Bagus Sugriwa Denpasar. Now I'm in the third semester and I take the bachelor degree. I live on Kapal Street in Mengwi Village. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to have the opportunity to stand here with a speech about the other side of plastic. As is well known that plastic has become an inseparable part of modern human life, starting from the 1940s to the 50s. Many items today are made of plastic, ranging from grocery bags, bottles, cans, CDs, pipes, helmets, cell phones, TVs, refrigerators, vehicles, and so on. The existence of plastics on the earth is very helpful for human life because the material is very practical. The price is affordable, easy to find, and durable in use. As is the case in food packaging, plastic is the material that dominates food packaging on Earth. Because by using plastic packaging, in addition to affordable packaging price, food will be maintained hygienic, avoiding contamination with bacteria, bad odors, and of course plastic as well as water repellent. So the food in plastic packaging will be 100% protected from water. However, despite all the conveniences and advantages of using plastic, it turns out that plastic also brings disaster to the environment and health. What makes plastic dangerous? Do you know? The dangers of plastics are closely related to their nature, which is not derived from biological compounds. Plastics are difficult to degrade or non-biodegradable. Plastics are estimated to take 100 to thousands of years to completely decompose, depending on the type and condition of the plastic. With this non-biodegradable nature, that will cause plastic to be the main and biggest cause of flash floods. Plastics embedded in the underground will inhibit the circulation of water in the underground because they are water repellent, causing the soil to become infertile. If the soil is not infertile, the trees will die and flash flood will occur because there are no tree roots and trees to block the water. Plastic is really hard to break down and it is water repellent. I had experience 2 years ago when I was invited to garden with my father. I still remember very well that experience. At that time, I planted a bougainville tree in my yard. I bought the tree already wrapped in a poly bag containing soil. My father taught me how to care for plants by first leaving my bougainville tree in the poly bags for a few days and then diligently carrying it by watering and applying fertilizer. When it started to grow up, then moved it to a bigger pot and lots of soil. Well, long story short, a few weeks passed. My bougainville tree had shown itself growing well. Without thinking more, I moved it into a bigger pot and also more soil. After I moved it, I took care of the tree as usual. However, I felt the ODD only a month later after I transplanted my bougainville tree into a bigger pot. I felt that my tree had no growth like before. Even the branches looked smaller. Then I also asked my father, why could this happen? My father thought for a moment, then digging the soil from my bougainville tree. Unexpectedly, my father found the polybag plastic that covered my tree. It turned out that I forgot to throw the plastic away before moving the tree into a bigger pot. Well, because the plastic polybag hinders the water cycle in the soil, so the plants that should be able to get nutrition from water, fertilizer, and more soil become obstructed by that plastic and cause plants to shrink and die. From that incident, I realized how dangerous plastic is to life, not only for humans and animals, but plants also cannot escape by dangers of plastic. Many people on the earth burn plastic waste to avoid the disposal process by burying it in the ground. However, this also doesn't mean that it can prevent us from the dangers of plastic. The process of burning plastic will release smoke containing toxic gases such as hydrogen cyanide or HCN and carbon monoxide or CO. Hydrogen cyanide is derived from acrylonitrile-based polymers, while carbon monoxide as a result of incomplete combustion. This is what causes plastic waste as one of the causes of air pollution and has a long-term effect in the form of global warming in the Earth's atmosphere. Burning plastic waste contains greenhouse gases and even dioxins and furans. Greenhouse gases can cause global warming and trigger climate change. Dioxins and furans are very dangerous for the human body. When these two substances enter from the combustions, causing coughing, shortness of breath, and dizziness. When you often inhale these two substances, cancer will occur. It is not enough on the land. Humans also throw the plastics they have used into rivers and the oceans. This is not just a discourse, but it's true.
Plastik adalah bahan unik yang selalu kita gunakan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Dari minuman kemasan sampai komponen elektronik. Plastik adalah cara kita memindahkan makanan dan produk di seluruh dunia. Tapi, setelah digunakan selama puluhan tahun, bahan hebat ini telah menjadi salah satu ancaman terbesar planet bumi. Plastik tak hanya berdampak pada lingkungan, tetapi juga tubuh kita. Sekarang, kita perlu memutuskan untuk menggunakan plastik dengan lebih bijak atau melihat anak cucu kita tersiksa akibat kelalaian kita. Alasan yang membuat plastik ideal, yakni murah, dapat diandalkan, dan tahan lama, seharusnya menjadi keuntungan. Tapi, semua itulah yang menjadikan plastik ancaman bagi lingkungan kita. Setiap tahun, kita di Indonesia memproduksi lebih dari 5,6 juta metrik ton plastik baru. Itu setara dengan sekitar 40.000 populasi paus biru, hewan terbesar di dunia. Itu baru di Indonesia, belum di seluruh dunia. Hanya sebagian kecil plastik, kurang dari 10%-nya, yang berhasil didaur ulang dan digunakan kembali. Bagaimana dengan sisanya? Itu semua berakhir di sini. Ini pemandangan TPA di pinggir kota Jakarta, tempat sampah plastik dari pusat kota dibuang. Masalahnya, perlu waktu ratusan tahun untuk mengurai plastik. Jadi, kita bisa menemukan sampah yang sudah ada sejak pertama kali kita menggunakan plastik. Menurut beberapa penelitian, jumlah plastik di TPA mencapai 6,4 miliar ton. Kapal kontainer besar ini bagaikan kota terapung. Tapi, dibutuhkan 41.000 kapal macam ini untuk menyamai berat sampah plastik di seluruh dunia. Apa yang terjadi jika plastik tidak terbuang ke TPA? Banyak yang akhirnya terbuang ke sini. Ini adalah lokasi menyelam di Tulamben, di lepas pantai Bali. Atraksi populer di kalangan wisatawan yang sekarang menjadi seperti ini. Ikan-ikan berenang melewati lautan sampah. Yang menyedihkan, itu bukan bagian terburuknya. Ini adalah pulau sampah di Laut Karibia. Di Samudra Pasifik, pulau-pulau sampahnya lebih besar lagi. Kita mungkin tak melihatnya setiap hari, tapi pulau-pulau ini nyata. Semua plastik ini akhirnya terurai, tapi tidak akan hilang. Partikel-partikel plastik dimakan organisme terkecil di lautan. Kemudian, mereka dimakan oleh organisme yang lebih besar, lalu yang lebih besar lagi. Sampai akhirnya, plastik ada di ikan yang kita makan dan berakhir di perut kita. Butuh ratusan juta rupiah per hari dan lusinan armada kapal untuk mengelola sampah plastik yang mengapung di Samudra Pasifik. Lantas, berapa yang dibutuhkan untuk membersihkan seluruh sampah di dunia? Siapa yang tahu?
Based on science-made data, the amount of global plastic waste production from 1950 to 2015 tends to always show an increase. In 1950, world plastic waste production reached 2 million tons per year. Meanwhile, 65 years after that, in 2015, plastic waste production had reached 381 million tons per year. This figure has increased more than 190 times, with an average increase of 5.8 tons per year. Well, can you imagine how much plastic has been scattered on the earth so far? That's very much right. So, how do we overcome the bad effects of plastic for our lives? The only way we can overcome this is by cleverly using and processing plastic. Plastic is not the only alternative material that can help human life. There are many other environmentally friendly materials that can be used, such as tote bag. This type can be used multiple times and can be washed too. In addition, there's also a paper bag that can be used as shopping packaging at supermarkets, maybe for dry food and so on, so as to reduce plastic production on Earth. Then habits that think plastic is easy to find, practical, and cheap can also be improved by looking for other alternatives, such as replacing the habit of buying mineral water in disposable bottles by buying in gallon and dividing it into tumbler that can be used repeatedly times and can be washed, so you can carry it everywhere. Besides that, you can also bring cutlery from home if you want to wrap food, so you don't use plastic to wrap it. Who else will take care of our health and the environment in which we live if not ourselves? Indeed, it is the duty of humans to make something that can help their survival. But it is also the duty of humans to protect the environment and their own health. We, as the most perfect creators on earth, must be good and smart at acting and behaving. If we are not smart, all dangers, calamity, and destruction will come to us. So let's get together early to be aware and change to be smarter in using and processing plastics on Earth. This all for a healthy, safety, and a comfortable Earth for us to live in.